Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. And two idiots join the Inquisition. Dark Heresy! Welcome back to another episode of Dark Heresy. As the Imperial Scribe of this vessel, I am intrigued to be documenting the many adventures of Andrew Dickinger, Shepard Tombs, and their servo-skull companion, Daniel Fernandez. When you last left them, our boys had come across quite the royal murder mystery, with Andrew's old ally, St. Collins, looking to be the prime suspect. If that wasn't enough, it seems three nobles are circling the throne, and it's up to Andrew and Shepard to ensure the right one takes the seat. What devious games do these royals have in store for our boys? Let's find out.
Alright, turning him back on since you pushed the button I told you not to push.
Well, I told you, I think the little servo skull was losing some battery power.
No, he never runs out of battery.
Really? That's awfully interesting.
I use a combination of a fusion battery and solar power.
My goodness, a fusion battery powering a servo skull and a fire extinguisher. Very, very peculiar. All right. Well,
I am a very unique servo skull. Atris makes unique things. Guy's a tech genius.
definitely agree.
Yeah, we can definitely stop praising Atris now.
Look.
Daniel, we talked about this.
I'm not saying he's good, but I mean, you should know what your enemy's abilities are.
Yeah, but we assume
Very
that...
true. Have you ever heard of
I don't
deductive murdering? It's a way to deduce the best way to murder someone.
Oh my god.
And that goes along with understanding their technology.
Yeah, well, have you fought Eldar Wraithguard? I didn't think so. Shut the hell up.
I haven't. Have you killed an Eldar Wraithguard?
I
mean, how many? I mean, probably not many. They're very difficult to kill. They're pretty big, I hear. What, did you shoot him in the head? Wait, do they have heads? What kind of organs are we dealing with? Weak points. Let's go over 1 through 5.
So what
on.
do you feel about this room they got for us?
I mean,
It's
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, right?
I mean, it's not the nicest.
Yes, I've assessed all of the weak points. I think we were going to get killed. It would probably be from these 3 areas for sure. But, otherwise pretty nice.
I don't know about you, Shepard, but I feel like, now that we have some higher information that we can keep to ourselves, we can just make those guards wait for a while.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think we need to talk to those fellows right away.
Let them sweat it a bit.
Definitely. Well, probably not here. It's freaking freezing outside.
Let them chill it a bit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the stone floors everywhere, not well heated. You'd think they'd have more carpet.
All right, well, I think first things first, we know the murder is afoot, and we should probably go talk to St. Collins, or I'm just going to call her Collins now.
How do we do that?
Yes, I'm not entirely sure we knew from that video recording where Collins could have gone. We tried to follow that shaft down, but it led to nowhere.
We could go talk to the Arbitus.
Do you think the police? They probably don't even know she's alive. She was wearing that hood and everything.
We could talk to the Arbitus or the Scourges or anybody like that. There isn't an Arbitus presence here in the actual castle, but the Arbitus would be watching over a Gorgonoid mine, which is below the castle.
Yeah, I mean, the shaft was going down. Maybe it goes down all the way to the mine.
So any chance, Daniel, that we could follow the path where that shaft might have led to? I mean, just assessing the building structure?
If it goes straight... Well, let me look. And Daniel just, sort of thinks for a second, as it were. If it keeps going straight down, it would get to the mine. It wouldn't go out into the opening of the mine. It would sort of be deeper into the mountain.
Interesting.
Where's the security station?
We could get there. There are a couple of them throughout the castle, but there's the main one, which is near the center of the castle.
Okay, so I want to go over to the main security station.
Okay.
And I want to tap into the computers, and I want to get to a full-on schematic of the building.
Okay. Excuse me. What are you doing there?
Inquisition business. Get out of the way.
I'm gonna need to. Okay, fine. And the guy who's in there is sort of looking away, and he says, "Somebody get Lee Strahd in here.
Yeah.
We need him to talk to these guys."
No, you don't need that, gentlemen. I think he's pretty busy being barely good at his job. Anyways, take a quick look at those.
You know, Shepard, you make a point. He is barely good at his job.
Absolutely.
Especially, holding on to keys.
Yes, definitely.
And I wave to the guards. You're gonna have to wait outside. This is confidential.
No, I don't know.
Go outside the fucking
Tell me,
door.
what kind of level access do you have?
You keep talking about level access. We don't do that here.
Well, yes, this is We're doing an Inquisition thing in here, and you're in here, and you don't have Inquisition access.
A sort of larger woman it sort of actually pushes you in the chest and says, "You don't look like an inquisitor to me."
Oh, well, that was very forceful. I don't think we need to be using any kind of physical harm in here. I'm a very fragile man. Look what you could do. You could hurt me and all that kind of sense, or that kind of pushery.
You got to tell me what you're doing, and I'm not leaving this room.
Listen. It is awfully cold, and if you could get me a blanket, you could hold quite a few blankets. You're quite large, aren't you? I'm going to try to do No, that's not a charm, is it? I don't have anything good. There's no rule that's... there's nothing in here that's... Nope, there's no skill that would probably work for this. I could be charming, maybe turn it around. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to try to charm. Da-da-da-da. Nope, 98. Not charming. Actually, I said everything I just said.
Stay out of here, okay?
So I just sit down at the computer.
Yeah, you just
start going at it.
Yeah, while this conversation is going on, you're getting it to the computer.
I've been at it going.
My distraction's working perfectly.
I rolled a 7.
Okay,
so,
cool. You've downloaded the whole schematic of the place very quickly.
So I'm just like real quickly going and seeing where the possible exits for the shaft.
Yeah,
essentially.
the shaft is not on any of the official blueprints.
Yeah, I'm more looking at like negative space of where the shaft would be.
It looks like it could totally like the third and final bedroom actually is like one of the more distant parts of the palace. It's separated from everything else. So actually, if it could even just go straight down and it would not run into any of the palace. When the palace itself is dug into the mountain, it's rather, the good-looking stuff is up above the mountain, but some of it is dug in. But if it were to go straight down, it wouldn't hit any of the rest of the building. You don't know if it goes straight down. It could turn off. It could go into maybe another room in the palace, but assuming it goes straight down, it would go into the deep part of the Garganoid mine. Actually, it looks like it's not the part of the mine that any of the mining actually takes place in. It's like sort of the part of the mine where... nobody goes anymore.
Interesting. So, does it look like there are any rooms close enough to the shaft that they might have an entrance to it, or is this like a specifically very keyed escape route for the leader?
It seems like it may just be a keyed escape route for the leader. If I understand what you mean by keyed escape route, because I don't 100% know what you're saying.
Keyed meaning it's like in the Oval Office where you have essentially an entrance that's only accessible via in real life terms, the president to go out through a shaft. Or
It looks like it doesn't connect to anything else. You assume you would have to go down the whole thing, but it looks like it could very easily just go straight down. It goes down for about a mile. Before it would open up into the actual mines, but
okay, so I just erase everything I looked at on the computer because I rolled a 7.
Yeah, cover up your trail.
Cover up my trail, and I stand up and I just like signal to Shepard.
Large blankets, like big ones for you to carry and bring me because I'm cold. It's terribly cold.
And the other soldiers are now seeing that this woman is standing up to you, and the other ones are like, "Hey, don't be talking like that to our commander." They're like actually like getting a little more forceful.
Did you bring any blankets? What are any of these people doing here if they're not bringing me something to keep a little bit warm?
I'm going to have to ask you to leave now.
That's fine. We came what we're looking for. All right, let's go, Shepard.
You know what? I'm going to write something up about this, I swear.
And I'm going to write something up about you. What's your name?
My name? My name is none of your business. And I just walk out of the room.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing they can really do about that.
I mean, she can,
Yeah.
but
She actually grabs you on the shoulder
Yeah,
as
okay,
you're walking
fair
out of the room.
I'm actually going to use an acrobatics check on this because you can do it actually to like you can do acrobatics to like slip out of like binds. You can do it out of like a couple things. So I'm going to try to do it to just kind of slip out of her
Yeah.
grasp.
Artfully dodged the...
Ooh, a 94.
On a roll.
I slip into her grasp more fully.
She has.
I didn't expect it, basically.
You did not expect her. And she grabs you and looks you straight in the eye and says, "Tell me your name, and I'll tell you mine."
Excellent. You go first, and I'll share mine afterwards.
And that's not how this works.
Shepard. My name is Shepard.
My name's Adler. Now you need to get the hell out of my station.
Fair enough. You know what? I've slipped out of quite a few grips, and you've got quite a good one. What is that? I've never really encountered this before.
I don't owe you anything. I'm probably smarter than you. Get out of here.
Fair enough. Adler, see you later, maybe. And
Well, it seems that she's bested you, so let's get that.
hold on a second. I wouldn't say that. Look, she had
And
a pretty crafty grip there.
And
was
I
not
grab
saying-
him and drag him out of the room. All right, so Shepard, I think we should just go straight down to the mine.
Do you think so? Like, do you think we might find her just down there? I mean, do you have a good idea where it went?
I do. It definitely went to an area that's not regularly used, which probably means shenanigans, but...
Shenanigans indeed. I'm not used to walking into a place that I don't have much information about, exit points and the like, but...
and I just bring up a
Oh, there it
visual
is. Look at
display.
that. Well, there's all the exit points.
No, you...
I have a scan of the mine itself, not the areas where that would potentially go, but everything leading up to it.
Yeah, you have the main mine, but this is like a more collapsed part that's deeper. You don't have any scans of... There's no records of that area.
Yeah.
You're confident that Collins could be in this deeper part?
Well, I mean, that's at least where she went. It's also not documented, and that tends to mean that there are people there and they don't want you to know they're there, and we should go there.
You think we might have to sneak in, possibly?
I have unfortunate experience with deep mines and collapsed areas.
And coming up to you is a woman clad in ivory armor. It looks very ceremonial, but like just an eye on it, like also it seems to be like using more relatively modern technology as well to make it actually useful in a modern firefight. She's not wearing a helmet though. You see her face. She's got a relatively long brown hair, just very straight. And she looks you in the eye. She actually has a huge sword on her belt and says, "You're the Inquisitors, right? Or the Acolytes, right?"
Well, we are with the Inquisition.
We are
My
with-
name is Shepard, consulting assassin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. An assassin, so you know how to fight?
Well, of course I do.
Excellent. And what's your name?
Do I need to give you a name?
Oh, right. How rude of me. My name is Riendo, Baroness Danielle Riendo.
Yes, yeah, I remember. You're one of the people we were supposed to meet here. And
I don't...
What he means is we are trying to get a lay of the land and kind of understand the really influential barons and baronesses around this part, because, quite honestly, with all of this dire and terrible death business, I think, there's a lot of things to figure out in regards to the future of this place, if you know what I mean. And I'd like to roll a charm check for the baroness.
hey, don't blow this one.
Hey, just real quick.
Who knows? So far, I have not done very well.
You were supposed to meet them, but you didn't have an official meeting set.
Yeah,
but,
there's
okay.
not much of a filter there.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it's the
we were
way
supposed to meet you for a mission.
maybe kill you, not sure.
All right, so rolling my charm check. Oh my god, that's a 91. I am going to spend a fate point because this is kind of like our first interaction with somebody who is actually.
And I mean,
like,
you could just get off on the wrong foot with her, but...
I'd like one of these things to go well. I'm supposed to be good at charm. There we go. Okay, that's a 22.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you. It's so nice to get some new faces on the planet.
That's a very fancy armor you got going on there.
Yes,
Oh,
is that
yes.
made of some sort of mesh or some type of bone?
It's made of bones of some of the animals that used to live on this planet.
Did you happen to kill these animals yourself?
Unfortunately, they were extinct before I was born. But this armor has been passed down in my family for generations. I've upgraded it a little bit.
Yeah, I see that there's some interesting tech woven in there, and I unsleeve one of my sleeves and unveil the artificial sin-skin armor.
Oh, God. Oh, you have... Oh, it's built into your body, then.
Yes,
That's...
they're advanced cybernetics.
Oh, that's... Seems
Yeah.
like cheating, don't you think?
Well, I mean, the flesh is weak. And
Yes, he's an interesting fellow. Listen, Baroness.
No. How about I talk to you? I'd like to meet you in my chambers for dinner this evening. That would be in about an hour from now.
Okay, I mean, I certainly am a bit famished from walking around in this terribly cold place all day.
I believe that we can have some good conversations about the future of this planet. The things are about to get very violent here. And
Really? How violent are they about to get?
around the wheel we go.
Oh, well, you see, the Royal Scourges under Sereno, they're about to go into the Shatters and kill every single mutant there.
Oh, why are they going to do that?
Oh, to punish the broken chains, of course. Now,
Is it because of the whole business with what was left with the Queen?
Yes, he believes, rightly so, that the broken chains killed the Queen. Now, they did, and we should kill the broken chains, but there's too many peaceful mutants. No, we can't have this conversation right now. I think Sereno might be acting rashly. I'm all for a fight, but I pick my battles. And I'd like to speak to you, and I know you may have a history with Sereno.
Well, that's interesting.
I have sources. So I'd love to speak with you and about maybe stopping people from making a mistake.
Okay.
I look forward to meeting with you.
And I look forward to dining with you as well later.
Yes. And she walks off, and she has a couple of attendants who are just following behind her.
Carrying her cape, obviously she has to have a cape.
She does have a cape, but they're not carrying her cape. They're actually one is carrying an axe, and one is carrying a las gun.
Interesting.
Very interesting person. I believe that there might be some things we could gather from old Baroness.
Yeah, I think we should probably speak to her before entering the caves, because the last thing I want is to get caught between that jackass Serrano and a bunch
Some
of
terrible
mutants.
crossfire, I agree. Do you think that maybe... I have a few hunches. Let's go to that fine dinner and, see what kind of information we can gather.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to do before we go to dinner with her?
I don't know. Well, there are a couple other barons here that we could possibly discuss or chat with. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess we can go speak with them briefly.
There was a Baron Waller, Walker, I guess is his name, and there, of course, was Baron Wokegammer, or Gamer.
Yeah,
The names on this planet are so tricky, they just don't roll off the tongue as easily as you might think.
Yeah, I think we could ask any of the servants around here, and they could probably direct us to their chambers.
All right. Well, I mean, we should do that, Daniel, then.
All
Just
right.
go-
Who do we want to try to talk to? You
Maybe
think?
Walker? Try there?
The easier name before the harder name?
Yes, I guess that's probably right.
All right. One of the servants points you in the right direction, and you are brought to one of the. I guess you wouldn't. It's called a royal suite. It's not. It's for royalty, but not the actual.
Royal suite, yes.
Yeah. It's not for the queen.
We've been there.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it should be noted that all of these barons that are important are at least related by blood to the queen in one way or another. They all have a little bit of trappings of royalty. So
Interesting.
that is part of the reason they are all vying for the throne, because they have a little bit of royal blood, even if it's like...
They all technically have a claim type
They
of
all technically have a claim to the throne. Now, normally it goes to the oldest child, and if there is no oldest child, tradition is dictated that the monarch will choose a successor. But the monarch has not chosen a successor, which has created the issue that they're in right now.
So typically, how does one know or decide who will be the next ruler of this planet?
Well, it's never happened before.
This is quite an odd situation. Let's see what maybe Baron Walker thinks about the whole thing.
I don't know what kind of weapons you carry there, Shepard, but you should probably be ready for action at a moment's notice, because things like this with these power struggles tend to get violent very quickly.
My dear boy, I don't know if you know this, but I'm always ready for a good fight. Let's see what this guy has to say. And knock on the door.
All right, a panel in the door opens up, like a little window, and you see a metal face looking out at you. And a voice speaks out of the metal face, but the mouth does not move, and it says,
Who are you?
We're here to see Baron Walker.
Who are you?
We're from the Inquisition.
Who are you?
My name is Shepard. This is Andrew.
Excellent. Do you have a meeting with the Baron?
Yes.
And you hear some clicking.
No, you do not.
It may not have been on the records, but we definitely had a meeting with them.
Are you sure? You might want to check your history again, old fellow. And Shepard kind of makes an eye to your wrist where you typically have your sensors.
What, I'm
and
going
your
to try and
buttons.
hack this guy
I
through the
don't
door?
who knows, right?
Can I hack this guy through the door, Daniel?
There's not a lot of Wi-Fi in the 41st millennium.
Can I send a mechadendrite through the opening,
like into its body?
like into an access point on it?
You
and-
could. It's about to close the window, though, and go talk to the Baron.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it was in there. Tell the Baron we're here to see him. He will understand when you tell him who we are.
All right. And, you hear just, some clanking as something is moving on the other side of the door. And actually, as you're listening a little bit closer, because you're at the door, you just hear a lot of clanking coming from inside this suite.
Oh, good.
The clanking is coming towards the door again and says,
The Baron will see you now.
and the door opens up, and there is just a mechanical man, essentially. Just like it's not a servitor. There's nothing biological about it. It is just a robot.
Like quite literally a robot man.
Like full-on cybernetica.
Yes, but, this is not a war robot or anything, and this doesn't have artificial intelligence. It's very simple. It seems
Is
to be
it
just
like a robot butler?
pretty much, yeah.
Sweet.
And as you enter into the chambers, you see that there are about 12 of these robots that all look just
Oh my god.
slightly different. They all are just steel, they're not painted or anything. Though one of them has a hat on, halfway on his head, just sort of crooked.
Oh my god.
Is it a top hat?
It is a crooked top hat. It doesn't
Yes.
seem to be acknowledging the top hat at all, but somebody must have put the crooked top hat on top of it.
Why do I wear top hat?
And you see sitting in the middle of the room is a dark-skinned man in a black jacket, very stylish sort of look. Actually doesn't really look too much like the folks on the planet. Looks maybe like he's trying to put on airs a little bit. He looks a little bit more like a Malfi royalty than the highborn from this planet.
Shepard is from Malfi. Could I make a roll to see if I recognize or remember? Now, Shepard hasn't been on Malfi for a very long time, as he's been about traveling, but is there
You make a Malfi roll, I guess.
Malfi roll? I guess just an intelligence check. That's a 50. That's a no-go.
Okay. Yeah, you recognize, the fact that you're from Malfi is you recognize this as sort of Malfi style that he's wearing. It's not it's a lot of flowing, very thick robes is what most people on this planet are wearing, at least of the noble class and all of the servants, though that one Baroness you saw was wearing armor. But this guy is wearing a relatively lighter clothing. He's probably a little bit cold.
And a little bit trendier, like a tighter, slimmer
Yeah,
cut.
it's a tight, slim cut. It's very trendy.
Which is very similar to what Shepard is wearing.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And he has a pair of dark glasses, and he was looking at a book or something, and he says, "Oh, the Inquisition! Oh, come on in, guys, come on in."
Baron Walker is it? Is that correct?
Yeah, you can call me Austin, but or just call me. No, you should call me Baron Walker. No, I'm Baron Walker. It's important. Yeah, you should call me Baron Walker.
Listen, I have to say that that particular fashion style, I don't know if you notice anything, but are you from Malfi by chance?
I'm not, but I've been there once or twice, actually. We've been setting up some trade deals with them. We've been trading technology. I think, I used some of the tech that I traded with them to build some of my boys.
Well, I must say that your fashion and your cybernetic, I would say, interests do you quite well. This is an excellent setup you have, and I'm gonna try to charm to get on his good side a little bit earlier.
Alrighty.
While this is happening and you're making this roll, I'm in the comm system, not saying it verbally, and I'm saying to you, likely all of these robots have weapons.
I didn't roll that great. I rolled a 77 because I can't seem to figure out how to roll on the other side of 50.
Yeah, you have decent
I have
fellowship.
I have pretty good fellowship as well as charm. It's plus 20.
it's weird. It's like theoretically you should be charming, but you piss off everybody that you meet.
Apparently, I've got
You're
that.
just a snob, Shepard. You're just a snob.
I'm not a snob. I'm just appreciating of culture. You know.
Oh, so you were born on Malfi. That's
What? Do you have an issue with Malfi?
no. Do you have an issue with? And he's just sort of confused. Look, all right. I'm sorry. We got off on the wrong foot, dog. So let's that's Malfi slang. I don't know if you've been on Malfi before.
I've been on Malfi before.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forget. Most people on this
Listen,
planet.
sometimes I lose my accent. I've been out there for if I'm around Malfi though, I'll definitely it'll slip a little bit.
All right. Anyway, can I help you guys? You're from the Inquisition. I assume you're here because of the murder, right? You got here real quick. You didn't do the murder, did you?
No, that's a very
Not only
interesting line of questioning.
would that not be any of your business,
You probably wouldn't tell me if you did, though.
we would also not tell you if we did.
Yeah, no, I don't even know why I asked. Well, if you did do it, you couldn't have done it at a worse time, my dude. Couldn't have you just done it, like, after she said I was going to be king?
Okay. Let's
So,
few things.
Baron Walker, you were in position to move on to the throne.
Yeah, I'm one of the most productive barons on this planet. I've added significantly more technology to my holdings. I'm actually transitioning a lot of the serfs out of the mining process, and they're actually seeing to these, mining robots that I've been creating. And I know that's not really... Mass labor is not usually done by, like, non-organic beings, but... I found that mining's not that complicated. You don't need a very big brain to do it, and you don't have to feed robots.
Yeah, he does have a good point about the not feeding robots. I mean, they are robots.
And eventually, yes, many of the serfs don't have jobs at the moment, but we're sort of transitioning into a sort of different kind of economy for the planet, and I think that I'm the wave of the future. So that's why, and also. I'm like one of the richest barons on the planet, so it seemed like that made sense.
All right, I have one question for you.
Yeah, what's up? You got all that tech stuff though. You from Mars?
That is none of your business.
Okay.
But I may or may not be of the tech priest variety.
Well, I mean, you're clearly a tech priest. Like I got that.
Yes, that with the mechadendrite harness.
Yeah, like it's
cybernetic implants. Yes, I get that. Okay.
Wait, you have cybernetic implants like besides the thing there?
I pull up my arm sleeve and...
Oh, dog! No way! You got like cyber... Is that a subskin armor weave?
Yes, it is. In fact, just got it recently. It's pretty nice.
Yes, he's really proud of it.
It's uncomfortable with those certain types of clothing. Like, you gotta wear the clothing a little more loose.
Oh, yeah, that's too bad. I've been looking into that sort of stuff for myself. I'm not... But that's the exact problem. I don't want it to feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I don't live quite an exciting life like you do.
Well, okay. So I have an important. I understand the ingenuity. Machine God be praised and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. You see,
all right. That
maybe
answers one question. Second question: what do you plan to do about all of the people that no longer will have jobs when you replace them with an entirely robotic force?
Well, the Imperial Guard always needs new recruits, but also, if we can start transitioning them into more farming, if we can start farming on the planet, that would probably be mushrooms in the underground caves and stuff. There's not exactly a lot of, you can't really farm on the surface, all the snow and stuff, but we can start growing like our food on planet. That would increase the amount of food that people have, and people would be doing a little bit better, because right now we get most of our food from off planet. And that's expensive. And
Definitely sounds like you've really worked out the economics of this transition. Question. When you say that you're definitely in line for the position, has the Queen told you personally that you are the successor?
Well, no, because if she did, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, we all have hushed conversations. Was there anything that she had indicated that you might be next in line?
She said she was a big fan of me trying to provide more food for the serfs.
Interesting. Can I roll a scrutiny check to see if, he's either, really nervous and he doesn't believe what he's saying, or...
Yeah.
Let's see if I can roll low. Oh my god, I passed! 38. Fantastic.
All right. That's very good. You see that this guy is just... He seems to be 100% genuine talking to you guys. He's very excited to be talking from people off planet, particularly somebody from Malfi, even if he's actually feeling a little weird because you're actually from Malfi, which makes him feel like slightly like jealous or like not as good as you. He's feeling like a little bit of imposter syndrome, which is why he felt like in his first reaction to you that it was a little awkward. But then at the same time, he's got like all that crazy tech stuff, so that seems really cool. And this guy doesn't seem like, to be fair, he seems like he might be smart, but he doesn't necessarily have a lot of guile.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
he's smart but also naive at the same time.
Naive is not quite what it is, but he doesn't move in the...
Do you mean tact?
I
Tact
think,
or high EQ?
I think it's more that he is not interested in playing those sort of games.
Playing the political game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least the political game about lying and stuff. That's not really his thing, which means he does not know about Malfi, to be perfectly
Right.
honest.
Interesting. Well, tell me, do you have any idea who might have wanted to kill the queen?
I mean, it was the mutants, right? I mean, if it was the Broken Chains, that's like that terrorist organization that's like pro-mutant, but also like I think a lot of the serfs are getting involved in the Broken Chains now. Like they really don't like their treatment on the planet, and they're rising up, and that's no good.
There may be a reason behind that.
I have an interesting question for you, Ben.
I heard what you just said, and I agree. The serfs, it's not great for the serfs, and that's why we're going to have robots. My dude, robots are going to make everything better. They don't use robots on other planets, but we have so much skextonite on this planet that's not being used.
There's a very strong reason why most forces are servitors and not robots.
No. I'm gonna make that clear. No, these things don't think for themselves, okay? They don't. That's the big deal. They don't think for themselves.
You say that, and it started that way at one point, and it very quickly became not that way, and things went terribly wrong.
I know. But I got this, fam. Like, I've got...
And
I can't take this.
And curious, once you get all of this set up, if you were to be crowned ruler of this planet or planet governor, working with the hierarchy out there of the Imperium, like, let's say, the Inquisition, how would you, I don't know, what's your opinion of that whole setup?
I think our planet isn't involved enough in galactic politics. We should get more involved. We should have more trade deals, and I think aligning with the Inquisition, shoot, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. We got this.
From my scrutiny check earlier, can I tell that this guy's being pretty genuine about
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, he's being genuine.
Oh, that's always good to hear. We always want to have friends in high places, if you know what I mean.
So Andrew's just thinking to himself, it's just like, man, this guy really wants to be involved, and he has just no concept of the intrigue level of the politics of the Imperium at all.
Well, Baron, I believe you're going to have a very exciting future ahead of you, and thank you, obviously, for speaking with us. We're just trying to get the lay of the land.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. You're like... And he's like looking around, and he like points to one of his robots and like, nobody can hear us, right? And the robot looks,
No.
all right. So I know this isn't cool or whatever. But this is what you do, right? You kill people, right?
I mean, gloriously, yes.
All right. So as long as there are 3 people claiming that they should be on the throne, there's not going to be somebody on the throne. That throne, only one buck can fit on that throne. So, could you talk to them and maybe convince them to not want to be king and queen?
Are you suggesting that we threaten the other 2 candidates so that they back down and or kill them?
That's what you do, right? That's what the Inquisition does.
Shepard, I think we're done here.
Well, Baron, it was excellent meeting with you and your fine company. He eyes the robots. But I think we'll keep everything that we've discussed here firmly in mind when we're thinking about the future of this planet.
Keep it on the DL.
Strictly confidential.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, have a good day.
Yeah, of course.
We step out of the room.
And you see as he's walking out, he's grabbed a scarf and he's thrown it around one of the robots and is like sort of like moving it around a little bit, trying to model it.
So I look at Shepard and I'm like, is it unusual to want to kill that man?
I mean, look, he's not the most tactful fellow, that's for sure, but I mean, if we're thinking from a political ally standpoint, I mean, he is certainly on the side of the Inquisition. He might not live that long. I mean, someone I feel like would definitely just probably off the old fellow.
He's super oblivious, right? Like, that wasn't
Yes.
just like a shtick.
And also, I mean, like, he definitely directly, but not subtly, asked us to kill the other two. I mean, look, I've worked for a lot of idiots before, and I'll take their money just the same, but you know, I'm a bit concerned if
I
we're
thought
trying
you
to
didn't
build...
work for money.
Well, I mean, look, I've got to get around, and somebody's got to pay for these clothes I'm wearing and oil up the weapons and all that good stuff, but I definitely don't do it for the money.
Those, you should be aware that those robots were definitely armed.
Were they?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they're coming from Malfi especially, they're going to be super...
Well, no, I don't think those were Malfi-built robots. I think he built those here. Those don't look like stuff from Malfi.
I understand, but if he's getting any basic schematics from Malfi,
This
then
is
they're
true,
going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
armed
Now-
to the teeth.
I have a question to ask. There's quite a few robots in that room. Do you think... I'm just thinking back now, and I don't know if I can make, like, a post-awareness check or just kind of thinking back, but what Shepard wants to try to figure out is, was that too many robots to have, like, were, like, some robots just, like, in the room, like, miming as if they were, like, cleaning, or, like...
You mean like it's more like an assault force instead of just
Maybe.
servants?
You could make an awareness check to flash back to it, yeah.
Hindsight check.
Oh my god, a 2. There we go.
He definitely had more robots than he needed with him, but then again, it didn't look like he had a lot of human staff with him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, like, as you're sort of looking around, it seems like all of the nobles, even the ones who aren't like the big barons, have a ton of staff coming with them. And, like, if he has a bunch of staff, they're not in the room with him. So maybe just having a lot of robots is his way of just having a lot of support staff. But maybe...
It's also a lot of heavily armed robots.
Support staff.
Yeah, they would also be heavily armed support staff, yes.
I was thinking back, and he had quite a few extra robots, and if they were armed, as I'm sure you
They were.
probably deduced...
They were absolutely...
Yeah, and also just the very fact that he had a bunch of robots is very weird. Robots not really a big thing, in particular on this sort of backwater mining world.
Let me be, you may not know this via my background and everything. Having any type of cybernetica that's not based off of human augmentation is very uncommon.
And also very difficult to kill. Not as many fleshy parts.
Also inherently dangerous. As soon as you get machines that begin to think, rebellion is not far away.
Hey, I could kind of think.
You have a human skull as a base.
Yeah, but not a human brain, though.
No, but it's based off of human cognition. You're an exception, Daniel, although I still don't know when you're lying, but I mean, we'll just get back to that later.
All right.
So far, I've deduced that this skull has been pretty honest with us so far, but you don't seem like you're about to build out some kind of crazy robot uprising, do you?
You know,
I think I liked Baron Walker is all I'm saying. I think I kind of like all the robots.
Yes, all right. Well, maybe we should talk to that final Baron. I know we've got that dinner later with the Baroness, but what about Baron Woke?
Yeah, we can go see him, I guess. I mean, can we talk to Walker some more? I want to see if I could talk to those other
Daniel,
robots.
Daniel, it's all right. I don't think you need to speak to... Actually, you know what, Daniel? Maybe you should speak with some of those robots a little bit more. Maybe get a, real personal touch to figure out what those robots think of this whole incident, and...
yeah. A real lay of the land.
Yeah, we don't...
And get an idea for them.
I don't know you very well, but I feel like you could probably use a bit of a holiday, take a few minutes break to chat with the old robot fellows.
I can go do that, and you can go head over and figure out the meeting with Woke. Maybe
Yeah.
you get a I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll make our way there, and you just meet up with us later.
Yeah, just come chat with us then.
Okay, cool.
So we walk down to we ask a couple people and find out where Woke is.
Yeah.
Go up to the door, knock, put you on like a kind of like a visual so you can kind of see what we're still doing on our side.
Actually, I come floating back very quickly afterwards and say, like, those robots are very stupid. They're not exactly good conversationalists.
They weren't you wouldn't say close to on the artificial intelligence scale. You would say they'd probably somewhere on the back other end.
Let me tell you, I wanted to talk to some people that understand not being alive, but sort of being alive, they didn't even understand the concept. It was kind of a bummer.
Well, that's too bad for you.
I guess I'll just hang out with you guys then.
Did you? I mean,
not that I don't mind hanging out with you fleshy guys, but it was sort of exciting.
You don't have to say it like that. I mean, I appreciate my finely toned flesh. I work out a lot. Jeez.
I'm like pretty sure I'm like more machine than man at this point.
No, that is why I like you.
Interesting.
But you think I'm lying all the time, so I'm not crazy about that.
Well, I mean, how do I know? Really?
Through this awkward moment of you two just staring at one another, Shepard leans forward and knocks on Baron Woke's door.
All right, and a servant comes to the door clad in very elaborate robes. Like this guy is and as you peek into the room, there's a bunch of servants in the very traditional dress of the people on this planet, and a gentleman with curly hair and a very formal robe. Most of the robes are very white and subdued, though his has a bunch of flashes of color to make him stand out. Just sort of looks at and he says, you guys, come on in.
You must be Baron Woke, is it?
Baron Gamer is my name.
Oh, of course, Baron Gamer. We've been perusing this fine castle here and just meeting all of the, well, let's just say, the people who are going to be stepping into much larger shoes, if you know what I'm saying.
Possible successors.
And while you were talking, these servants are coming up to you and silently, like, sort of offering to, like, take any clothes from you and are, like, offering you drinks and whatnot. They're not saying anything and they're keeping their eyes to the ground at all times.
Oh, I'll take one of those. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Nothing from me, thank you.
All right. And they bow several times as they back away from you.
Shepard takes some sips from what I can only imagine is like the finest of liquids and or wines or
yeah, exactly.
Whatever it is. This is quite excellent.
Only the best for my guests. Come on in. Have a seat.
So are you curious about who we might be?
Oh no, I know who you are. You're with the Inquisition. You made quite a scene earlier today.
Quite a scene where?
Oh, the servants told me all about your little confrontation in the security room.
Well, I mean,
and
Irene can be a little bit of a pushy bitch, can she?
And Andrew like gives like the fucking death stare at Shepard, like, God damn it.
Well, I wouldn't. You said Irene. Is that her first name?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, she had quite a grip. I don't know if you need to go as far as say that she was
She really doesn't. Look, I think we're all equal, of course. But, like, everybody should know their place. And I feel like she's not really knowing, like, that she should listen to the Inquisition, right?
Well, I mean, look, you obviously have to respect a certain level of authority, but,
Exactly! See, that's what I'm saying. There is a tradition that needs to be upheld, and the Inquisition, even agents of the Inquisition, should be respected, especially more than a guard captain. But I'm sorry, that's not what we're talking about.
Yes.
I'm interrupting you, please.
No, it's totally fine. Trust me, I've been in very, very close quarters with gentlemen just like yourself on many, many occasions, so I'm really appreciating having this opportunity again. Tell me, how have you been feeling about the whole situation? I know there's obviously been quite an uproar with the Queen.
Oh, yes, Auntie. Oh, it's such a tragedy that what happened to my aunt.
She was your aunt.
A great aunt, but yes.
Oh, well, I guess, are you kind of feeling excited about the opportunity to take on the throne?
Well, yes, I'm her closest living relative, so clearly I'm going to take over the throne. Also, I'm not a madman like Walker or Riendo.
Now, obviously, those are some pretty harsh words. We've met Walker, and he certainly has certain ideals, but what about Riendo? Why such harsh words about her?
Riendo loves mutants. Walker loves robots. No thanks.
I mean, what is your particular flavor of authority, would I say? How would you see your impact changing the landscape of this planet?
That's the thing, okay? Why do things have to change? Okay, let's just keep things the way they are. We can have a little bit of incremental progress here and there, but let's not shatter the system, okay? I like to think of myself as a centrist, okay? I want to hear all sides, and then once we hear all sides, we kind of ignore them and keep doing what we've always been doing.
A real man of progress. Excellent.
Exactly.
Wait. So what about how all of the workers are being treated?
You mean how they've been treated for generations and how our planet has thrived since then?
Well, you have certainly thrived, but how about improving the state for the workers themselves?
Oh, no. We've increased their food rations by 10%. They get a little bit more food. And I can't raise... If I were to start giving my servants, it would break the whole system. I only get so much money from shipping all this skepsonite off the planet, and they should be thankful for the amount of food that I give them. It is the way... I am generous. I think of myself as I'm the radical center, as it were. I keep things the way they are, and that in itself is the most radical position of all.
Yes, you're really breaking new ground. I'm curious, how do you feel that this relationship you'd established, obviously retaining the excellent structure that the planet has already had, how would that relationship continue off-planet? Let's say with, organizations like the Inquisition.
Inquisition seems just fine. Sephora Secondus needs to keep to itself. We will continue to send minerals to where they need to go, and we'll mind our own business, more or less, is our policy. Or my policy. It should be our policy. I'm going to be king of this planet. Auntie loved me the most.
Well, I mean, she's clearly no longer around to give the nod, as it were, but...
Such a tragedy. Those monsters that killed her.
Yes, it does seem quite odd that they would have left the chain like that. I mean, it certainly makes a statement. Curious, I guess, obviously you're now in a pretty positive position. You don't think that Walker or Riendo certainly have a claim to the throne as equal as yours?
My blood is pure. That's just how it goes. But even if that wasn't the case, I stand for a traditional Sephora Secondus. I think, in many ways, I'm more traditional than Auntie Lakima. She, in the later years of her life, was starting to say some crazy things.
Really?
Crazy things like what?
Well, in the past year or so, she's been... I don't know. I think she might be afraid of what people will say about her after she's... Well, I think she might be worried about her place in history, or was worried about her place in history. She was talking about how she would be remembered by the serfs of all people, when they should remember her as a great ruler who has ruled over this planet and kept it mostly at peace and protected folks from the mutants. She dealt with one of the greatest crises on the planet, the ascension of my cousin. I don't even want to say her name. We're not really even supposed to say her name.
I mean, I've heard of it. When you say your cousin, there was this goodness, there was this Baroness, wasn't it? It was God, what was that last name? Was it
Collins?
Collins, that's what it is. That who you're referring to?
Yeah, Elle. She was always a bad egg. You know, she always was older than me. She said she knew what was going on, even when we were kids. It was... Yeah. Well, showed her, though, didn't I? I'm around, she's not.
What do you mean you showed her? I mean, look, you are obviously in a position of power now. Did you have some hand in pushing her out?
Oh, I used to be a member of the Scourges. As a sort of... in my youth, I dabbled some time in the Scourges, just to get a feeling of just what the people were like, and I was there when she was captured. You know, it takes a royal to catch a royal, as it were.
Of course, yes. Very interesting. Well, it seems like you've certainly done well for yourself, and you're definitely in an excellent position. And
I'm going to be in an even better position when I lead Sereno and his men into the Shatters and kill every dang mutant there. That's another thing that, look, bless her soul, commend her to the Emperor's side. But the Queen did not take the mutant threat seriously. And look what happened to her. They need to be eliminated. I think maybe we even need to, well, we'll make some changes.
Would you say these actions taken on by the Scourge are happening probably most recently due to this murder of the Queen?
Well, that's the particular reason why we're acting. They were being... The Queen was not letting them do what they needed to do, but now there is no Queen, and that is a shame, but it maybe even shows that she was wrong. And I will make sure that our people are protected. But enough about me. I never thought I'd say that. Enough about me. You're from the Inquisition, right?
You know, it's about that time.
Do you need skepsonite? It's very valuable.
I mean, we would certainly enjoy any leftover skepsonite. I can't see why I wouldn't be able to take a few out here.
Well, I can promise you that, if I were to be on the throne of this planet, I would make sure that our friends in the Inquisition got, any extra things off the top of our ties to make sure that, we cemented a solid relationship. Now, Severus Secundus will hopefully, once I am king, never need the Inquisition to come again. But it would be nice to have, it's nice to make friends.
You know,
Yes.
I was thinking, we have an appointment?
Yes, we do have those dinner arrangements, but Baron, it was excellent speaking with you, and we'll keep everything you've said in mind.
All right. No, I understand. You got to hear all sides. I always hear all sides. You know, you got to understand.
Yes, and then disregard them all. But we have to go.
All right. Can my people get you anything else?
No, this has been excellent. And Shepard hands the glass back to one of the closest servant.
All right. Excellent. Clean that up. And he says, well, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. If you need anything, let me know. And I'd love, I see that you are well armed. I'm surprised they let you bring those in here, to be perfectly honest.
Well, we're the Inquisition, so...
Yes, exactly. Well, if you need to, I would love to have you by our side. In a couple of days, once we get all of our forces marshaled, we'll be going into the shatters where the mutants hide, and we'll be exterminating them, and I'd love to have you by our side.
All right, well, be sure to at least, let us know before it happens.
Because, of course, we would want to know if...
everyone will know.
I believe you. Well, thank you very much for inviting us in. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll speak to you then.
All right, excellent.
We slip out of the room, close the door.
Man, it's weird to want to kill them more as you go up the ladder.
Trust me, it's a pretty regular feeling. I'm happy to see that you're kind of,
No,
coming around to the...
I'm not on your level, no.
Look, it's a pretty lucrative profession, and I feel like you would probably have a pretty good knack at it. Getting by those security systems, wiping the cameras, I feel like you've probably got a knack for this thing.
If you're asking for a partner that's not the time...
just,
inappropriate...
it's lonely out there in space when you're murdering people all the time. Having someone with your skills...
Listen, we just work together, okay? Just take it slow, all right?
All right, just saying.
I don't know. I've been just watching you guys. I'm writing fan fiction in my head about the two of you hooking up.
Oh, man. All right, well...
I wanted to talk to the robots about that because they had seen you, but they just didn't have anything to say.
Well, he did let one little interesting bit of trivia go about Collins being his cousin.
Yes, that is interesting. So obviously Collins, then, being the older, would have the strongest claim to the throne if she was still alive, which we know she is. Do you find it kind of odd that Collins would leave the chain, as it were, in the Queen's room and essentially doom... You had mentioned in reading the dossier that kind of doom her followers, those mutants that she cared so much about.
Well, yeah, and this is the thing, too.
But the broken chains weren't with... Well, they were with Collins, but then the second broken chains weren't with Collins. And I guess this is a third broken chain, so I don't even know.
Well, also, this explains why she was hugged immediately, because she's the niece of the Queen.
But also, it sounds like the Queen has also been... a little bit softer in her older age on maybe some of the harsher traditions this planet has had towards mutants and serfs and the like.
Yeah, well, you'd think then that if Collins was actually truly with the people and potentially some of the mutants, then killing the Queen is against her having any type of right of succession.
That and also her previous agendas, it's interesting. We'll have to speak to Collins to find out kind of what would have led her to make a decision like that, unless, of course, the Queen had selected a successor, and that successor didn't necessarily align with Collins' goals or values. Someone like this Baron here.
Well, we could also, just ask her. She killed the queen.
Well,
I
yes,
feel like
I mean,
that
I
would-
feel like
you keep talking about like how we know where she is. We don't know where she is.
I mean, if we find her, I'm saying we could just not beat around the bush and just be like, "Hey, did you kill the queen? Your great aunt."
it sure seems like she did.
I mean,
Certainly,
she
yeah.
was in that video recording, and if somebody was pretending to be Collins, they would have known that she was alive. That's also a weird person to pin it on, a ghost that everyone thought that was dead.
Should we tell people that it was Collins? I feel like we're the only people who know it was Collins.
That's interesting. But you also
We could tell Lestrade at least.
You also just brought up a really good point, which is the queen knew.
Well, yes, of course. The queen knew that Collins was still alive.
Yeah, she did.
Yes.
Like, as in, that was really, really secret when we left her. Like, everyone thought she was dead. I mean, her cousin was just trying to take credit for having her killed, yet the queen still knew.
Well, clearly there's obviously quite a bit going on here that we're not clear on, that maybe meeting with Collins would certainly clear up. She is in the mines, or at least you suspect she's in the mines. Here's the thing, the time is getting close to it. We should probably make it to that dinner with the Baroness, and then maybe this evening, maybe tomorrow. It sounds like we have about a day or so before they might make that assault.
Yeah, I think we should probably meet with her, get the full lay of the land between these three, and then I guess determine from there what angle we're gonna take. This is very
There's a lot going on here. Well, I guess off to that final meeting then.
All right, let's go over. I'd say I'm excited about dinner. I like the way it smells. I can sort of smell it. It's sort of a thing that I have.
You can smell?
I gave him an oral sampler.
Really? Hold on a second. Let me check the settings on the back of this skull.
Isn't oral like for eat? Oral or oral? I don't. What?
Okay.
No, it would be a nasal sampler.
You really didn't install an actual smelling capability on this servo skull, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, let me take a look at that for a second. Is it this button?
No, it's not that.
Thanks for listening to this grimdark tale. It seems a royal powder keg is certainly set to explode. But what about Collins? What does she gain from this ghastly murder? Tune in next month to find out. Special thanks to Daniel Fernandez for inserting his soul into a servo skull and helping these two as Game Master. I'll be chronicling new episodes of Dark Heresy every first and second Wednesday of the month. And if you want to get your wargaming fix, tune in to Roll to Seas every final Wednesday. The music you heard in this episode was made possible by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. For more details, check the show notes. If you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts, head over to partialarc.com. You can email these morons any questions at rolltoseas@gmail.com. Of course, you can always follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to leave a rating and review on iTunes. You could win a date with a royal. They might murder you, but it'll certainly be exciting. Goodbye.